Hi there, welcome to Queerdo Inc. My name's Emma, my pronouns are they, them. Video games have been a massive part of my life. Since I was a little person, video games were one of the ways I would escape this world in order to get away from the kerfuffle of living in a immigrant household with parents who were very much homophobic at the time. And it was a way for me to escape reality, find myself, and just have a little fun at the same time. Now, I admit when I was growing up, it was during the time of the console wars. So we had the NES, we had the Genesis, and then the PlayStation, the N64, the Xbox, and it was a very weird time. My early beginnings with video games were with the original NES. Me and my two sisters, we got it for Christmas one year, and it truly changed my life. But it was, I say that about all the things that I post on here, but it's true, all the things I post on here are things that changed my life. But it was, at first, I just could not get into 2D games. Super Mario, Duck Hunt, Super Mario 3, all those other 2D games, Aladdin, Lion King games, I couldn't get into them. They were too hard, and I think for a neurodivergent queer person like myself, it was something that was also dominated by the more masculine figures at the time. And funny to think about it, my older sister was the more dominant figure between the three of us. And then when my cousins and whoever came along, my other cousins, maybe a little bit more masculine, they would just play it, and I would just sit back and watch, and I loved it. But I had my different ways where I fell in love, where I played video games, because not all 2D games were bad for me. There were some 2D games that I really loved. And it wasn't until the N64 came along that I actually started to get into video games. But today, I want to go over my top 5 video games of all time. And maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, let me know. All of these are just basically based on how it impacted my life and how it came along. So let's start with number 1. Or number 5, rather. Because number 1 is going to be the best. And number 5 is Pokemon Green, Yellow, all just basically the original ones. I had an original Game Boy, but I never played it on the original Game Boy. Even back then in 1994 or 5 on our computers, or maybe it was 1996, we were able to download emulators, so I would steal them. I downloaded emulators and I played all the Pokemon games on my old computer, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. It was the type of role-playing game where I actually could get into. It worked at my own pace. At that time, you just didn't know when the Pokemon were going to pop up, and that there's some excitement to that. So, yeah, number 5 would be Pokemon. It was still to this day, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. So, yeah, there we go. And number 4 would be, and I cannot believe that I am saying this, it's God of War Ragnarok. And so it's God of War number 3. I never thought I would say this, but I got a PS5 last December for myself, for like the holidays, because I buy myself all these gifts. And it was beautiful. I thought it came with the bundle, and I was going to buy it without it. I wanted Horizon instead, but this was the only one they had at GameStop. I bought it. I played the game. I've never, the way the game starts off, to me, first of all, was just so beautiful. It gets you right into it. And then, when you look at Kratos and Atreus, and they have, they're father and son, but they have this daddy twink thing going on. But it's also really beautiful because you see this masculine cis man be emotional, be caring, and something I think that you don't often see in characters like that. So God of War 3 Ragnarok is number 4. Number 3, this was really hard, but number 3 is the Ocarina of Time. Now, I think the Ocarina of Time is very hard because it should kind of be number one, and I was teeter-tottering over putting it at number one or number three because there is a number two place, but yeah, it was, I got it the year it came out on my Nintendo 64, and I remember playing it, all the memories sitting in front of this massive old school TV. And it was the one game I got to the very end. Oh, I got to Ganon. And I just had to beat him, but it was so hard, I couldn't beat him. But to this day, it is one of those games that it will always be up there with me. If you play it now, it might be a little bit difficult to play. Maybe the 3DS version is the one to play. But it's one of those games that will act as a photograph to me and take me back to a very happy time in my childhood when it shouldn't have been happy. And so, yeah, Ocarina of Time is number 3. Number 2. Oh, number 2. I have put so many hours into number 2. I have probably put over 300 hours into number 2. That sounds funny. Probably more than that in my life. Animal Crossing New Horizon is one of... I don't know if it's one of those games I could go back and replay. I have to wait a bit. But it is one of those games that gave me another world to go in, let me escape the pandemic, as it did for many of us. And it just let me express myself, especially with the terraforming and being able to do all that sort of stuff. So that was really nice. It also... yeah, you know, the fact where you can't change your island name. Mine was called Gaberton. Can't change it, but kind of fell in love with it. My character's name is Puss Puss, and I love Puss Puss. So, yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizon. Tell me which one your favorite is. I'm sure there are going to be people who like the other ones, but Animal Crossing New Horizons is my number 2 game of all time. And number 1 video game for me right now of all time in my whole life would be the Wind Waker on the original GameCube. I loved that game. That game is amazing. To this day, it's one of those games you can play and it doesn't matter. You just pick it up and you play it. You play it on the GameCube, you play it on the Wii U, whatever system you want to play it on, or if it comes out on the Switch, it's going to last forever. It is beautiful. It has a great story. It has cute characters. And yeah, it is truly just really fun. And I think it was also one of those games, for me at least, that had this massive world that you could explore and go between. And, you know, it was great. In those days, you could just go to a pawn shops and you could pick up games for like $20, $15, and so that's how I used to get all my games. But yeah, Wind Waker is number 1. Let me know what you think below. If you think I'm right, if I'm wrong, if you have your top 5, I would love to hear it. What are your favorite top 5? I want to hear from all my fellow Queerdos, even our allied weirdos out there. Let me know below. Thank you so much for watching this. If this is something you'd like to see more of, please let me know. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, please put a thumbs down. And have yourself the most beautiful day. I love you. Bye.